In today's video, we will explore automated events and the live preview feature, enabling you to easily configure these events with a unique functionality called Time Walk. Click on the Edit button next to the My First Automated Webinar. Navigate to the Automation tab, where you will find subsections named Chat Messages, Info Messages, Number of Attendees, Polls, Offers, and Alerts. We'll focus on Chat Messages since the settings for the rest are quite similar. Detailed explanations for the other sections will be provided directly in the live preview. The Chat Messages section is designed to give your users the impression that multiple attendees are connected to the webinar and engaging in communication. In the first second, the initial message from the virtual user named John is displayed, along with a corresponding message text. The second simulated message from the user named Jack appears in the third second of your webinar. There's also a box labeled Sent by Host. When checked, for instance, in the third message, the sender column is automatically filled with the name host, which can be modified on the settings page. This message can serve as an automated response for the simulated users John and Jack. Type the text, "Hi John and Jack," in the message column, and this response will appear in the 7th second of your webinar. Save the webinar and click the Live Preview button. On the right, you will see the chat icon displaying your automated messages exactly as configured in the administration. In the live preview, you'll find a slider known as Time Walk, visible only to you as an administrator. This slider is not visible during your webinar in the live room. By moving the slider forward or backward, you can rewind the webinar for a specific time and instantly see the automated events displayed at that moment. Rewind the webinar to the beginning, and you'll see the message from John in the first second, Jack's message in the third second, and your simulated answer in the 7th second. By default, the webinar sound is muted. To hear what is being said in the video, click the Unmute Webinar button. Use the Mute button to mute the webinar again. In Live Preview, you'll find other sections corresponding to other automation tabs. Next to the simulated chat, there's an icon for polls. Click on it and rewind the webinar to the second minute. Only you as an administrator will see real voting in the poll. From the administration, you set the voting results displayed to the user as needed. The next icon represents info messages. They can be used to share links to free ebooks, coupons for example for those who have stayed longer on your webinar. The last icon, visible only to you as an administrator, is used to list all the events you have set. Clicking on the time next to offer will rewind the webinar to the moment when your special offer may be displayed. By clicking on the time next to the alert item, you'll see a message displayed in this box, providing, for example, information about the purchase of your products or services. The last item in the live preview is the number of connected users, simulating the scenario where people connect and disconnect from your webinar, the same as it is usually on live webinars. To provide a visual representation of all events used in the whole webinar, the slider has different colors according to a legend. All the mentioned items can be found in the administration when editing the webinar in the Automation tab. For inspiration, refer to the setup of the webinar, My First Automated Webinar. In the next video, we will delve into the Registration button, used to display only the registration form on your own registration page if you do not need to use our built-in registration pages.